Fire in the hole! You don't know how happy I am to say that. Let's cook some ribs. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome once again to my backyard. I'm so happy to be here. I can't tell you. We didn't know if we were going to be here or not. Hurricane Irma really did a number on us. But we're still here. We're still alive. We're still rocking and rolling. I got a couple of racks of baby back ribs. We're going to make sausage ribs. But the first thing we got to do before we make anything is we got to take a butter knife and get up under that membrane and then get a paper towel and get that membrane off the meat, the bone side of the ribs, just like this. That's part of it. Anyway, I got more to do. Well, you get the idea. I'm taking the membrane off from the ribs, and if you don't do this, if you cook ribs and you don't take the membrane off, then we can't be friends. I'm sorry to tell you. So yeah, you gotta get a paper towel and get that membrane off there. In fact, let me get that done and I'll bring you right back. I don't need to bore you with that. That frickin' thing. Here we go. There you go. There's your membrane right there, baby. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, it was a bit of a struggle, but I got that membrane off there. And like I said, if you don't take that membrane off there, we can't be friends. So we're gonna make the rub for these sausage ribs. We're gonna start with some fennel seeds. About 2 tablespoons of fennel seeds. Fennel seeds you find in Italian sausage a lot of times, and it's good stuff. I'm going to just crush that up a bit. Not a whole lot, just a little. You don't have to powder it. You just want to get some fennel seeds in there. I know it's boring, but just bear with me. It gets better. It gets better, ladies and gentlemen. You just have to give it a chance. So let me get these fennel seeds crushed up. Okay, I got my fennel seeds crushed up. Turn my fan on me here. Next thing we're going to do is add some kosher salt. About a tablespoon of kosher salt in there. And then we got some coarsely ground black pepper. We want about a tablespoon of that in there. That's coming along now. We got some garlic powder. Now, Chef John used garlic salt, but I felt like this rub already had too much salt in it, so I'm using garlic powder. About a tablespoon of garlic powder in the rub. And some sugar. About a tablespoon of sugar. And Chef John says that this is enough rub for 2 racks of ribs. I hope he's right, because I got 2 small racks of ribs here. Okay, the next thing he likes is cayenne pepper. So we're going to put about a teaspoon of cayenne pepper in there. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. But I'm also going to put some crushed red pepper, because I like that, and I like the way it looks in the dish. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get that all together, mix that all together. That's our rub for our sausage ribs. And I mentioned that I got this from Chef John at Food Wishes. I hope I mentioned it. Anyway, if you could smell this, it smells amazing, because the fennel seeds remind you of sausage. So let me get my rub melted down here, and then we'll get the ribs and get the rub on the ribs. So stay tuned. Okay, so what we're going to do now is like we always do. I'm sorry that that's half in the sun and half out. We're going to hit the ribs with some Tsang stir-fry oil, which is what I always do, because we love the garlic flavor of Tsang stir-fry oil, and also because they're my sponsor. Then we're going to take this rub and liberally coat them with this fennel seed and pepper and salt garlic rub. This is the best thing going right here. This is so cool. This stuff smells great. It smells like sausage. And it's going to make our ribs taste like sausage once we get it on there. So we're going to rub our ribs down with that. Both sides. There we go. Looks good already, doesn't it? How do you like that? You like apples? How do you like them apples? Those fennel seeds are what makes this recipe work. The fennel seeds you find in Italian sausage are what gives it its flavor. So there we go with the rub. We're going to rub the other side. We're going to hang them in the pit barrel and cook them for about 3 hours. Then we're going to make this bourbon orange sauce for these ribs, so stay tuned. The ribs are in the pit barrel getting smoked up. That's going to take about 3 hours, and while that's happening, we're going to start a fire on the Weber and cook up this orange bourbon sauce, so stay tuned. Okay, my ribs are rocking right along, so in a pot on the fire we're going to make this orange bourbon glaze. And the first thing we're going to do is we've got a third of a cup of brown sugar in there. We're going to pour in, I forgot to shake it. Okay, shake up this orange juice. Put a third of a cup of orange juice in there to make this glaze for our ribs. Just stir that up. Get that brown sugar dissolved in there. Hope you can see that. I think you can. Okay, then we got the zest of an orange zest to put in there. We're getting a very orange intensification here from the orange zest and the orange juice with pulp and brown sugar so far. Then we've got a third of a cup of rice wine vinegar to go in there. Third of a cup rice wine vinegar in there. Yeah, baby. Now, Chef John recipe didn't call for this, but I'm calling for it. I want some Wild Turkey Bourbon 101, baby. Third of a cup of Wild Turkey Bourbon going in there. Maybe let's make that a little bit more than a third of a cup. Yes, you better believe it. Wild Turkey Bourbon, that's good stuff. Let's get that stirred up. Yes, sir. Oh, that smells good already. That bourbon and that orange just goes together. You could drink that right there if it wasn't so hot. And then we got some, we're going to put about a tablespoon of this. This is Haiphong chili garlic sauce. The same people that make, I'm going to put a heaping tablespoon of that in there. Same people that make sriracha sauce. So that's some hot stuff right there. So now we've got this orange bourbon glaze running. And we're going to cook that down, and we're going to get that reduced down by about half. Then I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to glaze our ribs with it, so stay tuned. Okay, those ribs are looking and smelling excellent. They smell just like Italian sausages. What we're going to do now is cut them apart and get them in a pan. Oh man, these are beautiful. These are amazing. I'm going to get that one, get that in a pan. Cut these apart like that into individual pieces. Let me get that done and get them in the pan. I'll show you what that looks like, and then we'll pour that glaze on there, so stay tuned. The ribs are cut up and in the pan. What we're going to do now is take that glaze that we made and just dribble it on there. Dribble it over that, we reduced it by about half. We're going to just dribble that glaze over those ribs. Just glaze them up a little bit with that. Oh man, if you could smell this. Oh boy, look at that stuff. Oh yeah, look at that. Just going to glaze them all up. Just going to pour it on there. Just pour that glaze on those ribs. Let me get a better hold of that pan before I drop it. Oh yeah, look at that. Don't that look good? I'll tell you what, this smells amazing. This is going to be like pig heaven right here. I'm just going to pour it. I'm not going to mess with it anymore. I'm just going to pour it on there. Get it all over them. I'm going to pop that back in the pit barrel, and then we're going to go get a drink of beer, and when we come back they'll be ready to taste. So stay tuned. Alright, it's time for my favorite part of the show. This is the Frosty Root Boy mug, in case you didn't know. And this is today's beer from the Wynwood Brewing Company in Miami, a local beer, La Rubia Blonde Ale. Sounds good to me. It's 5.0 ABV, blonde ale. let's find out. There's only one way to find out, right, Roll? We got to pour it out and we got to taste it. So let's pour some of that La Rubia blonde ale out. It looks good. Definitely is a blonde ale, very pale. It's what I like. I like a blonde ale. I like a blonde every now and then. And that's it, La Rubia blonde ale. All we can do is take a taste, take a sniff, see what we're sniffing. 5.0 ABV. Oh man, that smells great. It smells of hops and grapefruit. So you know it's a kind of almost an IPA. Let's quaff the froth off it. Roll, what do you think? At 5.0, that is excellent. An excellent blonde ale produced here locally in Miami, Wynwood Brewing Company. I'm very impressed. I'll have to pay a tribute or pay a trip to the Wynwood Brewing Company. I think it's right near that other place, a Concrete Beach Brewing Company. Anyway, let's get some of those ribs on a plate and take a taste. Stay tuned. Okay, let me plate up a couple of these ribs. If I can find my towels. Here they are. Let's get this one and this one. Oh man, come on. And one more. What do you think? This one. That's two more. Okay. Oh, there's a little piece that fell off. I'm going to just chow down on that. Oh man. That is excellent. So let me take a proper taste of that. You gotta let these cool down, because if you don't, you serve these to your guests, they'll burn themselves. Look at that. Don't that look good? Oh man. Oh baby. You know I say this every time, but I really hooked it up this time. Chef John, that's a killer recipe, dude. That is awesome. Sausage ribs. Oh man, that is so good. I can't tell you. Anyway, listen babies, I got a special request for you. I want you to go down in the description and follow the link. And I can't remember the name of the organization, but Tango Joe sent it to me. And if he says it's legit, then it's legit. I want you to give some money to hurricane relief. And it's a barbecue-based thing. You just got to check it out for yourself. Go down there, give $5 or $10, whatever you can afford. I'll tell you what, I could sell you some of these ribs, but I think they're all going to be gone before dark. Oh, that's so good. Okay, also, like I always say, if you like this crap, please subscribe. If you don't, go check out Lassie's Cooking and Barbecue. Lassie's over in Sweden, I think. I'm not real sure, Lassie. I'm sorry if I didn't know. But anyway, go check out Lassie in the iCard. Subscribe to me. Come back next week. We may not cook anything good, but we will drink a beer. And this, what is this again? Wynwood La Rubia Blonde Ale is excellent. Okay, that's my video, babies. I'll see you next week. Bye.